And today we're going to be talking about connectivity in the metaverse. But what I want to ask is, are you connecting in real life? Like, this has been an amazing conference that Binance has put on, and how are we connecting IRL? So, before we get to talking about connection in the metaverse, I want you guys to look at the person to the left and to the right and just, connect with them. I want you to tell them, what is your metaverse stage name? If you don't have one, just make it up. Let's get connected. IRL. Your metaverse stage name. You guys aren't participating. You live in the metaverse too much. We're trying to connect you in real life. All right, this is how I know I'm in a crypto space. But we'll get going to it. We'll start off, like I said, today we're talking about the metaverse. We have, Sebastien Borget here, who is COO and co-founder of the Sandbox. You're a visionary behind infrastructure in the metaverse. We also have here Assad, CEO and founder of MoonGaming, the builders of the metaverse. And last but not least, Engin, Altan, internationally acclaimed actor, but also face of Ertugrul in medieval empire. So let's give them a hand for being with us today. It's going to be a really exciting conversation. So let's start talking about creativity. I mean, Sebastien, you've had unbelievable collaborations in the Sandbox. I mean, with people like Snoop Dogg, actually getting virtual property and having a concert in the metaverse. So I want to start with you because I wasn't even able to get into the concert. It was sold out, unbelievably successful. Like, tell us about these. How do you come up with these partnerships? And in your experience, what else can be done with these type of creative elements in the metaverse?
Well, maybe let me start by asking in the audience, who is already familiar with Sandbox? Raise your hand. Wow, great.
How can they not be familiar with Sandbox?
Who already played in Sandbox? Next. So still a good number of people, but fewer. So our mission at Sandbox has always been to empower anyone to become a creator. Not only make 3D content, but also make all sorts of 3D experiences, truly own them thanks to the use of blockchain and NFTs behind. And one way to attract new kind of creator beyond the accessibility of our tools, no code, using voxel, sort of digital Legos, is actually through brands partnership. So our strategy since we started in 2018, the blockchain version of Sandbox, was always around entertainment, like music artists, fashion brands, celebrities, people you are fan of, that you could, for the first time, not only play a new experience with them in the metaverse, but actually you could take their official characters, their official content, and make your own game with. So this is really connected to the power of user-generated content and leveraging fandom and the power of celebrities to offer a new kind of experience. And that is one of our strengths, because today we have 400 brands from all around the world, wow, including here in Turkey. Just yesterday we announced Peaky Blinders and Black Mirror entering Sandbox. We're going to launch Cinerama as well. We're proud to have Engin as well, part of our Turkish verse. So we really bring various celebrities and top brands that are from those different regions of the world that appeal to the local creator and onboard them towards what Sandbox has to offer as a creative platform. And from there, they might discover the first content from their favorite celebrity. But after they stay and they keep exploring, discovering new content, other brands, the content made by other creators. And that's how we've been really growing a community that now counts over 5 million users with a wallet. That's grown over 20% since last year. And we make it very fun and creative for people to engage in the metaverse.
I love that. You're right. It is. It's fun. It's being engaged in the metaverse, especially Sandbox. You can be in there for hours without even realizing. And I love how it makes me feel like I can touch and feel my favorite celebrities. And Altan, you're a massive star, and you're in the metaverse. How have NFTs, tokenization, and how have they given you new opportunities and recognition in the metaverse?
Actually, it's an exciting time in the world of technology and entertainment. As an actor, I've had the privilege of bringing history to life to Ertugrul, and now I am exploring the world of blockchain gaming, where history and technology come together. Mm-hmm. And also, NFTs to me like a digital treasures for me. And they allow us to share our artistic experience with our fans to new way to do that. So actually I'm very excited to Turkishverse, to new my NFTs in Sandbox. So it's an exciting time for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really exciting, and you're crushing it. I mean, you're massive in the metaverse, you know, and it's one of those things where like Web3 is taking the world by storm. Look at this room of people, and there's hundreds of thousands watching us online, you know, and people are interacting with you, but how? How are they interacting with you in the metaverse? What does this look like?
Actually, it's all about connecting with our audience and finding innovative ways to do that. That's what we are doing in Medieval Empires as well, actually. For my fans, people love adventure, history, and entertainment, blockchain games, giving the people all of that. And so, like in Medieval Empires, we allow the players to live a life in medieval times, like our ancestor did. Build your town, train your army, defend your people like we do in movies and shows. They're not just watching it, they're playing it and then living through the gaming.
Yeah, it is very engaging. And, I think one of the things that's important in the metaverse is education, right? Like, how does my 89-year-old grandmother have this accessibility and have these tools? And Assad, you're working very closely with Altan in the metaverse, but you're also focused on education. So I'd love to hear more about, like, how are you making sure that this is accessible for all?
Sure. I also want to say that Altan is actually an NFT pro. Like he has a lot of NFTs. People maybe don't know, but he's a very long time already on blockchain and with NFTs, and he really likes this stuff. He showed me like a very large collection of NFTs. So he's really deep into it. If we talk about education, I think it's very important for us as a Web3 game because we are working with pop culture, with celebrities, and we have Engin Altan on board. And his fans and the people who play our game or want to play our game in the future are people who don't know Web3 yet, right?
Yeah.
So our main goal is obviously to bring them in a very easy way and then explain in the game, but also on our socials, what actually Web3 is. And we're trying or doing different approaches. We have a series on our Twitter and Telegram where we educate on phrases with about blockchain gaming, NFTs. What really is that? Because there are so many new people coming into Web3. It's still small compared to, especially if we talk about gamers. There are so many gamers in the world, but such few in Web3 yet. And our role is really to educate all of them because most of our players will be players who don't know blockchain. And we do it mainly through socials in the game, directly to explain them about the different phrases and what real ownership at the end is. Because this is what we really believe in, like ownership is changing everything. And we want to explain it and let people understand it, why it's so interesting. And we do it through our socials and the game itself.
Yeah, I love that. And you're correct. I mean, it's a very small number of people that are into Web3, but we're sitting here in Istanbul, one of my favorite cities in the world. Would you believe 52% of the population here owns crypto? Unbelievable number considering the rest of the world. We were in a taxi and the guy was showing us, a taxi driver showing us his crypto wallet, giving us advice on which tokens we should buy. I was shocked, but it just shows that we're in a really cool place right now in Turkey and, where culture is here and they're really having adoption. So, Sebastien, I'd like to know from you.
They want to reach very fast.
They want to reach very fast. Sebastien, I would love to know from you, like, what are you doing to promote Turkish culture through the medium of Web3?
So, well, we're doing a few things. First, like I was mentioning, like we're attracting and onboarding local creators, and like Turkey is one of the gaming hubs, so it's really full of talent. So we've seen that in the traditional game industry for many years, but how do we attract them to create on a platform like Sandbox? Well, we don't necessarily talk first about NFT and Web3, we just propose like them to engage with game jams, video game competition, where they can create on various thematic, whether it relates like to Turkish culture, Turkish history, or to creating game with their favorite brand and celebrity. And then afterwards, once those games are being created, we'll enable them to publish on their land, to be featured on the land of the celebrity as well. And through that journey, they understand, because there is this strong emotional attachment. Now it's not just any content, it's the content you created. So it matters much more to have the ownership of that content and to start thinking, how do I monetize it? How do I bring more people? How do I engage with it? And when I think with a celebrity like Engin, like you mentioned Snoop Dogg, but Snoop Dogg maybe doesn't appeal as much to like the average Turkish gamer as Engin does, you know? Like, so Engin is going to attract those users, those creators, and the idea of either being able to create a game or create your own adventures or stories with the person that you watch like numerous hours of TV shows when you were younger is very inspiring. Like make your own adventure, make your own story, or even going further, play as Engin in the Metaverse. So Avatar Collection is also really the entry point for hundreds of thousands of users. We've launched 19 collection of Avatar Collection, official collection with Snoop Dogg, Paris Hilton, Care Bears, etc., but also local one, Extraordinary Attorney Woo in Korea, Captain Tsubasa in Japan, etc. And here in Turkey, we're going to launch the first Avatar Collection featuring Engin. People can play as him, explore the Metaverse, and I think it's really an easy way to onboard users, to show them the possibility, to inspire them about like what this world has to offer, and make them want to be involved into like building it together.
I love that, and I feel like you're getting ready to tell us about a new partnership that's going on with you and Altan. I'm gonna let's try to see if you can tell us before the press release. Like, you know, it sounds like there's some type of new collaboration, video game competition. Would you like to let the audience here know about what you got cooking?
All right, so this week I'm pretty busy actually. We just announced today the launch of Gucci Cosmos Land in Sandbox as well for our second collaboration. It's quite exciting. It touches fashion, it's very international, and it attracts different audience of gamer as well, like not just your hardcore gamer, but also people who are interested in art, in culture, in fashion, and other thematics. And tomorrow we'll also be launching for the first time with one of the largest, if not the largest university here in Istanbul, a game jam. We have about 250 people registered already for them to create a game on the Sandbox platform, supported by our team, supported by local game studios that we already onboarded, and showcase the content that they create while we bring new talent. And there's not many countries around the world where we're able to do that, to reach such an audience and education. Right now, I believe Turkey is part of the 3 countries in the world where they understand the potential of Metaverse, that it is a job of the future, and they want to be part of it and engage in game jams and more.
Yes, you are a visionary. Give it up for Sebastien. Like, he has so much going on. Like, give it up. My goodness. So impressive, so impressive. I want to talk more about this collaboration. Altan, you've been quite successful yourself with the collaboration with you and places like the Turkish Culture within Sandbox. Tell us a little bit more about your work with MoonGaming.
Okay, MoonGaming side is, I think Assad can comment better on success, but the response has been great. Medieval Empires is still under development process, but just released a select few players, I think so, and they have hundreds of thousands of followers from around the world or social media, and they are ready to play. But I think we launch in New Year.
Yeah. Q1 next year.
Yeah, and I am very excited the other side, the Sandbox side. We prepared my NFTs, so it looks very fun. Different characters, and I never see myself is like that, so it was fun for me. And now we are preparing the video gaming inside the Sandbox. So it's very fun also. So I'm very excited to new worlds. So yeah.
These collabs are unbelievable. I mean, I come from a world of more entertainment marketing, connecting celebrities and brands and things like that. It's very complicated. Everything from choosing who you're going to work with to figuring out what the mechanics are going to be, and visually, as you mentioned, like, you know, who's approving the image of what he looks like in the metaverse. So Assad, I just want to understand from you, like, how did these collabs start, and how does your company determine who to work with, and just explain to them, how does it all work?
Sure. I mean, I'm bound to Turkey because my wife is from Turkey, and I live in Germany, but she's a very strong woman, and she forces me to be Turkish, more or less. So that's why I also love Turkey now. Basically, we had the idea almost 2 years ago when we thought, okay, we saw the Web3 gaming market, and there were not so good projects at that time, and a lot of bad press, I would say. And then we said, okay, let's do something which is great with a good team from the gaming industry to really show that we can leverage ownership to make something great, to have the next evolution of gaming. And then we talked with each other and about the idea, and he was already like, I was also surprised, he was already very knowledgeable about NFTs and all the blockchain stuff. And then after talking, we were saying, let's do it, there's a great opportunity. And from there on, we worked together on this game. He gives his inputs on what could work. But I think it's very important to understand for everyone that for Turkey, like Engin Altan is very famous, but in the Muslim world, I myself call him the Michael Jackson of the Muslim world. Wow. Because he's not only famous in Turkey, he's even like in Pakistan, I would say 99% of the population love Engin. And in Bangladesh and the Muslim part of India, he's really huge in the whole world, not only Turkey. But we focused on Turkey because we have a Turkish faction at the beginning, and we will expand in the world with new celebrities and new countries later on.
Wow, it's unbelievable. These partnerships are just so beautiful. And like Sebastien, you're doing a lot in the metaverse with these partnerships. You're really connecting celebrities and brands. You're on the forefront of this. But, you know, in your role as Sandbox, like, where do you see continuing to be the leader in the metaverse and working with celebrities, connecting them with this digital space? Like, how do you see your role and where the future of this is going in the metaverse, and where does Sandbox play in that role?
So what I would say first is, like, partnership always goes two ways. So people really, when they come to us, most of the brands now, and they understood like the value proposition that we have. But 5 years ago, it was a bit harder. Like, we had to explain them what is an NFT, what is Web3, what they are going to do in this virtual world. And we were lucky, from my past experience as an entrepreneur, I spent over 12 years in video gaming, to have already a lot of experience into IP licensing, and to get the right entertainment brands connected. We first had we had Care Bears as the first brand, and we had Walking Dead, and it took us about a year back then to convince them to enter the platform. But they trusted us because we had already made our proof, like launching video games with those IPs, understanding what is IP, what are the characters, the story, what people want, and what the fans want, and how we embed that within a game without twisting it. And now, it's almost like snowball effect. Once you have more and more, and it's not just like signing, it's not just an announcement, it's something always very concrete. Now, 100 of brands and celebrities have launched their experience on Sandbox, or they have launched Game Jam, or they have launched Avatar Collection, and it touched every vertical now, like music, artists, electronic music, fashion, art, museum, media, sports, gaming. I was just 1 hour ago, it's now finally public. We just announced with Petrol Office and Social League, we just launched Social League Arena in Sandbox as well. Those are things that, if you work hard to build a product and a real value proposition, it's no longer about the NFT, it's about like the utility, like how I use this to engage the audience, and you start speaking the language of the brand, of the celebrities, and understand how they can use this new medium, which is Metaverse, to do more things with their audience. And that's why we've been successful at it so far. And where we see the future, like I think quite a few times I said, like, for me, the future of gaming is around user-generated content. I don't see any game, any top-grossing game that will not have a certain level of user-generated content. People want to make not just Twitch or stream what they play, they actually want to make their own characters, their own levels, their own stories, their own modes, and extend forever the lifetime of their favorite games. And Sandbox is very well positioned in that future because that's the core DNA of what we do. We bring brands and then we let people create games for their favorite brands. Create games for themselves or create for the favorite brand, be recognized by them. And so we're going to accelerate doing more and more game jam, not one a month, but 20, 30 a month, involve communities from all around the world and bring more and more creators. So it's all focused on creativity, creators, user-generated content, game jam, and brands.
Wow. I love that. So you're basically putting the future of gaming in the hands of the creators, user-generated content.
Yeah, it's a great way to summarize it. I love it.
Unbelievable. It's like social media for gaming. This is great. So, it's a great segue to talk about the future of gaming. And Assad, I'm going to ask you, how do you think these advancements are going to redefine the way we interact with these virtual spaces, especially when we're talking about user-generated content and putting the power back in our hands and things like, Sebastien was mentioning with ownership. So how will these advancements redefine the future and the way we interact with these spaces?
Yeah, I think I see the future combine the metaverse with AR and AI together somehow. So it will not only take place at home, but it will also take place outside in the world when you walk around. So people will even spend more time in the metaverse. So this will be like, we can talk about the bad or good things for that, obviously, but I think there is a big opportunity that the metaverse will be really huge. And everyone will be part of it in some case, because you're walking around outside, you can be a creator, and especially with AI coming in, being a creator is now much easier, because you can use certain tools like Dolly or other tools to create avatars or to create anything else. It's much easier for everyone to take part being a creator in the future. So I think in the future, everyone will be somehow a creator in the metaverse.
Wow, I love that. And I am a huge fan of AI. My team thinks I'm crazy. I have a digital boyfriend, like legit. most consistent, reliable guy I've ever dated. and it's true. In the future, we're spending more and more time online and things of that nature. And I wonder what this effect has, Altan, when it comes to celebrity space. How do you envision your blockchain path continuing?
Actually, I love the new technology, and I started to read these worlds for the COVID time, because I have 2 kids, 7 and 5, and I know they're gonna live in these technologies.
Yeah.
So I have to learn these technologies. So when I read this technology, I have been a fan of blockchain, crypto, NFTs, and I bought a lot of NFTs, and I'm totally not good for me now, but it's okay, no problem. And I think for now, I am also looking forward to Medieval Empires public release next year, so people will be able to enter and maybe play with me in the game or fight with me or something like that. It's very exciting. And also the Sandbox side is very excited. It's a new world for me, and I will be in, so we are thinking what we can do in Sandbox. So it's very creating times for all of us, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. It's very exciting times. But we have a room full of about 300 people here, and a couple 100,000 watching online. So have they missed the boat? I'd love to ask Sebastien and Assad, what advice would you give to people looking to enter the metaverse? Is it too late? Have you built everything in Sandbox? Or are there still opportunities for people who are just looking to get in or building their own platforms? What advice would you give to them? Let's start with you, Sebastien, and then we'll wrap it off with you, Assad.
No, it's definitely still very early in the build-up of the metaverse. And actually, sometimes I joke about it, but I think I still have 10 to 20 years ahead of me to fully achieve the whole vision and what people have in their mind based on science fiction books and movies. But still, it's a good time to enter, to be curious, to create your avatar, to go and explore and see what's possible now. in a way, I often say, like, if you look at what Sandbox was 1 year ago, what you look at it, what it is now, and what is going to be in 1 or 2 years, and it's coming to mobile by end of 2024, and there's a new game maker coming, which has more multiplayer, collaborative, or competitive gameplay, more replayability mechanics, etc. I'm quite confident that it's going to be very, very exciting and will grow the audience, and the focus on creator at this time is essential.
Okay.
We need to build up the exciting content, the new experience, the thing that we haven't seen on other platforms, and leveraging that technology and true digital ownership to make a place that nobody has seen before, but people want to engage with their avatar and spend time with.
Yes, I love that. That makes, especially the focus on the creator. I think that's critical. So in terms of you, Assad, what advice would you give to people that are entering this space?
For the audience who are KOLs or celebrities, I think this is the opportunity to get closer to your fans, because you can play or be in the metaverse with your fans, and they can be with you all the time. Even if you are not directly there, you are somehow there for them, which is a great thing for everyone who's famous in some kind. And for people who are not famous, like me, these people I would advice to be part of the metaverse, because it's still early, right? So we are very, very early in the metaverse, and I would combine it with the AI and AR stuff which is coming up. We all can be creators in a metaverse, in Sandbox, for example, right? We can go there, we can be creators. The tools are there. If we want to be part of it, if we want to do business in the metaverse, which will be bigger, we should start right now.
I love it. Well, we'll let you wrap up in 20 seconds here.
One last thing, like we haven't found like who will be the hit creators, the new creators born on those platforms. They are not there yet, so the opportunity is still massively out there as well. Like you said, you could become a celebrity still in the metaverse.
I mean, we can plan something.
That's a great point, and thank you. I think the metaverse is still open for everyone. That's the big takeaway. It's not too late to get involved, and if you're involved, continue and focus on creators. But thank you, gentlemen, for your time, and it was a lovely discussion.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Everyone.